Live from the city of angels. It is Eric Weber here on MMT on this Thursday night. It is the box office preview show as we talk about the films that are opening tonight and the films that will still do well this weekend. And yes, it is August. It's starting to show. I mean, we are now 10 days into the month and you can feel it by what the studios are giving us. This weekend, the only wide new release is The Last Voyage of the Demeter. What a long title. It should have been just simpler, like, when Justin Timberlake in Facebook says, get rid of make it Facebook, just call it Demeter. Even if people don't know what it is, it's cleaner. We'll get to that in a minute. But I do want to talk about Barbie. It's going to hit 500 million. You're like, it already hit $1 billion. I'm talking stateside, 500 million stateside. Here is the latest numbers as through today. Obviously, we don't have today's number. We have yesterday's. Let's look at where it is. It's so close to 500 million. It's at $485 million domestic. Means it'll get there probably, let's say, another like 7 million today. And then Friday, it passes 500 million for sure. And then you're going to be, you're already way over $1 billion worldwide. So how much further can it go? Remember, Top Gun Maverick is over 700 million domestic. This film's not going to get there. Let's say it gets to like 595 or 610, somewhere in that range. It's still going to be under Maverick, just to show you what a phenomenon that film Maverick is and was a completely different animal. But Barbie's in the same sphere. Most films aren't. They just don't ever come anywhere near this. Oppenheimer's obviously a phenomenon as well, but not as huge as Barbie. We'll talk about Oppenheimer in a minute. But that's what is so impressive about the film is it keeps going. Ben Shapiro, it's going to do well opening weekend, and then it's going to bomb after that. It's going to just fall apart because everyone's going to be like, I'm not seeing that woke shit. Yeah, Ben, here's the deal. You said it before. We're talking about Stephen King in a little bit. Stephen King needs to stay out of film criticism. He is fucking clueless. But here's the thing. So is Shapiro. Just stick to what you know. We've said it so many times before. Do I come on here on MMT and start talking about politics? Do I start talking about hockey or baseball? No, because I don't know shit about it. I mean, I know politics from a general perspective, and the overall feeling for me, as you guys know, is just let the government leave us the hell alone. Just let us do our thing. I don't need a nanny. I'm a grown-ass man. And even if you're not, you don't need a nanny either. But Shapiro needs to stay out of this film stuff, and so does King. We'll talk about it in a minute. Let's look at Oppenheimer. Let's do this. Usually we do a sales check, and we'll do it in a few minutes. We'll look at all the sales for, I guess we'll use Demeter because it's the only wide film here tonight. I mean, it's not going to be big. It's like lucky to get 10 million. I'll give you my number in a few minutes. Let's look at what's in theaters right now. So I just want to show you what they're doing with these PLF screens. Those of you who don't know, PLF, premium, large format, IMAX, Dolby, Prime, at AMC, RPX, 4DX, at Regal, Cinemark, big theater. I don't know what it's called. Cinemark's large ass screen, whatever it is. So Barbie's got Dolby. Oppenheimer still has IMAX. Plus you have the 70 millimeters here. Hopefully you have both of those where you are. TMNT is still around, doing well, holding pretty well. Prime, so it has the other PLF screen. And then Meg 2 has 3D. My God, the movie's terrible. In 3D, it might be worse. It's one of the worst films of the year. We're going to talk about Demeter in seconds, but there's Demeter. Look, it doesn't even have anything. It's got regular screens. Well, I'm going to check sales on it in a minute. Just wait. I want you to hold tight. I know you're so... Hit the button, Weber. Let's find out how many people are going to see Demeter tonight at the 16. I just came out of the 16. I saw a terrible film. I'm going to save what I have to say about Jules for Sunday night show. I've got too much to talk about tonight. It is a doozy. Just wait for that. But listen to this. Oppenheimer is now top 10 all-time R-rated films. Top 10 worldwide. Let me pull it up. I'll show you where we're at. And it's super impressive. It's Nolan, so we shouldn't be that surprised. But at the same time, we are. Where's my top 10? I thought I saved it. Damn it. I didn't save it. Trust me on this. It's number 10 all time. So that's impressive. I'll dig it up later. I don't want to even bother right now because I got things to talk about. Let's go and do it right now. I know you guys are waiting. By the way, do me a favor tonight. If you're here and you want to talk and you want to comment, you got to super chat me. I am producer Nateless. So that means I'm in trouble when it comes to digging through the comments, even if it's 99 cents. It's roughly what the show's worth. Maybe $1.99 on a good show. Okay? Send it that way. It's going to be easier for me to see. You guys ready? Here it comes. The MMT evaluation of the last voyage of the Demeter. The longest, lamest title for a film in theaters this year or any recent year, I would argue. This is a horror film that was test screened for years and never saw the light of day until now. Why is it now being shown and getting dumped? What month are we in? Everybody, on 3. August. I didn't give you 1, 2, 3. Sorry, 3, 2, 1. It's August. That means it's a dump month. That means we're going to get shit like this, and it's bad. It's boring. And Stephen King just doesn't know what he's talking about when it comes to movies. How old is Stephen King? Is he like 80-something? He's got to be, right? I'm not going to listen. I'm not going to make fun of people who I'm not 25 myself, but here's the truth. At some point, you don't have the same intellectual capacity as you did when you were younger. I don't know what that means. For me, it doesn't apply, but I'm saying maybe when you get up there, let me read you, and I'm going to go through this, why this is so bad. Because everyone goes, well, you just say films are bad, but you don't tell me why. Well, then here you come, bastard. I'm going to tell you why. Here we go. I'm fired up tonight. The show's going to be like this from now on now. I'm not going to even like stop and hold. It's going to be full on just insanity because I now have, if you guys have been following me on Twitter, I am now done being nice at all. Like, I'm not even going to play nice at 0%. I got people like, who was the pretentious, oh my God, that guy. He's so boring. The guy who came after me yesterday for saying that Halloween Ends is an atrocity. Who's the critic? Someone come in and tell me. That guy, here's the problem with film Twitter people. I'm sorry, I know we're supposed to be talking about Demeter, but I'm going to rail here. We're going to move around a lot, but eventually we're going to come to a point. Film Twitter's problem, pretentious, unfun, generally dweeby people. Not you. You're cool. You're here. But you know what I'm saying? They're not fun. Like, would you want to go have a drink with half these people on film Twitter? Especially the critics. They're no fun. They have no sense of personality. They have no sense of humor. They're lame. But yet they think they're so fucking great. Here's the deal. You guys watch. You guys know how I roll. My whole shtick is a bit of the wrestling heel, especially on Twitter. We're talking about movies. Why can I not say you're a complete and utter dunce for thinking that Halloween Ends is quality, considering it is John Carpenter's Halloween we're talking about and the legacy of an iconic character? You got to understand that. And I can go ahead and get wild with that and say you don't know what you're doing. That's fine. We're talking about movies. These people just don't know what they're doing. I'm tired of these critics that don't know what the fuck they're doing. Help me out. What's the percentage of critics who know what the hell they're actually discussing? And I don't even mean history. I don't mean that. I mean when they watch a film, they are going to generally align with your thoughts on a film. Let me help you with the percentage. It's like 2%, and I'm in that percent. The other 98, they write for the circle jerk of critics that they all talk to, like the dude that came after me yesterday. Help me out with his name. I'm going to go through the comments. What was I got to find it now. Richard Newby. It just came to me. Richard Newby. Richard Newby has zero sense of humor, zero personality. He is a typical film Twitter person. And you know what those people are? They write about films for other nerds who only want to talk about films. If you watch MMT, you guys know that's not what we do here. We talk about all kinds of things, and you damn well know that movies aren't the only thing in my life. Okay? That's the problem with people like Newbie and these other people. That's all they have. And they talk about it in the way that you would with a fellow Ivy Leaguer, which makes you completely unrelatable to people. But yet Richard Newby wouldn't know that because he thinks he's God's gift to film. I am a character. I am trying to make this entertaining, but yet also have insightful things to say, which I think if you watch the channel, you know that's the truth. Okay, that just went way. I knew that would happen here tonight. It's okay. Okay, here we go. MMT evaluation, last voyage at Demeter, the perfect August dump month release. Ladies and gentlemen, reaction from the theater last night. This is a boring alien on a boat. It can't muster any shred of fear during its overlong runtime, 2 hours, should be 1:30. Slogging through Dracula, fanging the crew one by one, heading toward the inevitable final showdown. Its generic, insipid score. The score is this. We can't have this shit anymore. This guy's Bear, someone rather. He did the score for Godzilla, King of the Monsters. There's no talent. Bear, hello, this is for you. You have no talent. Because all I heard last night, and I don't even remember Godzilla, but I'm sure it's the same thing. It's a monster movie, so here comes Dracula. This is not composing. You are just making noise. And the fact that most people don't even pay attention to that. I had a guy one time tell me, and he's a film person. I don't remember who it was, and if I did, I probably would call him out and say, I don't even really notice the score. And I go, don't ever admit that. Don't ever admit you don't notice something in a film, because score elevates or detracts or makes mediocre. And in this case, it makes mediocre is being generous. Bear's score is completely and utterly talentless. And no one else talks about this shit. Why am I the only person who has to go off on Bear, whatever the hell his last name is, score in Last Voyage Demeter for being the most generic? I thought it was our boy Lorne Balfe. Both of them in the no talent club. I want to have Micah Levi score. I want to have Hans Zimmer, obviously. I want to have Ludwig Göransson. I know he's not going to do this movie, but I want someone with that talent, not some hack like Bear or Lorne Balfe giving me a shit score like this. No one else goes off like this. That's what makes MMT what it is. No one is talking about Bear, whatever the fuck his name is, score. Nobody. Because they don't notice it. It tries to conjure up scares. Oh, there's the jump scare. But here's the deal. The ship has sank. Is that correct English? I think it is. This was me after the movie last night. That's me. I have fangs in. See, this is what Richard Newby would never do. This. Richard, be more like this, not the pretentious blowhard that you are. This is relatable. This is normal behavior. giving the fangs they gave us for Demeter, and then posing with them after the movie, appearing to be asleep from having watched this slog of a film. Here's why, quickly. Let's go through the top 3 reasons why the film sucks. Number 1, it's boring. It's overlong. There's zero tension. We talked about all those things for a 2-hour vampire movie stuck on a boat, alien on a ship. It's completely a dull film. It's got that generic terrible score. I mean, it's such a untalented work. And then number 3, Corey Hawkins is a very good actor, very talented. He grew up, he went to Juilliard. He worked in the New York theater scene. He's done Shakespeare. He was in, what's it called? The Shakespeare freaking with Denzel from 2 years ago. Macbeth. Whatever the hell was called. Whatever the Macbeth. The shit, it'll come to me. He was in that. He's good. But he shouldn't be in a film like this. He deserves better. We deserve better. Demeter, 50%. Okay, let's check sales. This show is already off the rails. That's how we like it. We want the show to be off the rails more often, because guess who can't do this show? Richard Newby. Guess who else can't do this show? Chris Stuckman. Guess who else can't do this show? Grace Randolph. None of them can even attempt to do this show. Some of you are going to say because it's a train wreck. That's fine. They can't do it. They can't make an entertaining train wreck, which is exactly what this show is. But Richard Newby can write a 1,600-word essay on the merits of some random film. Dude, you're boring as hell. Just know that. You're a bore. And everybody knows it. They're just not going to tell you. I'm telling you that. You're a boring person, and no one would want to have a drink with you because you bore people. Oh my God, this show is so unfiltered. By the way, I want to make sure this is absolutely stated too, because I know someone out there is going to send this to Richard. This has nothing to do with the fact of Richard, his ethnicity. Zero. Okay, guys. I mean, of course, someone's going to go there. No, it has zero to do with that. 0%. So just know that. Just know that shit. So don't even bother. I just, these people are unbelievable to me. It's time for the MMT sales check. I wish he was out here. I would love to say, dude, I would actually tell him to his face, you're boring as hell. You know that, right? Just so you know that. As long as you know that you are a blowhard and you are 0% entertaining, you think you're so great. It's a joke with me, guys. You guys know that, right? If you don't, let me explain something to you. This whole thing is a persona that I throw on. Generally, it is, yes, who I am deep down inside, a version of it, but it's heightened, right? It's just like a wrestling heel. You do the same shit. And I don't care if people like me. I don't care, guys. How many times have I told you the story? I'm not going to go through it again. 6 years ago now, I was at 0.0, all the way at the bottom, the nadir. And once you bounce off the bottom, you don't give a shit what others think about you ever again. And that doesn't mean you go around trying to do things that are troublesome. But when Richard Newby comes after me about me telling him that he's 100% wrong about Halloween Ends, and he is, and anybody who's seen Halloween Ends knows I'm right, it is an absolute travesty the way that David Gordon Green unloaded like the elephant in Babylon on Michael Myers' legacy and John Carpenter's creation. If you're going to argue that I'm wrong, or that how dare you say that you're the only one who's right, I'm right about Halloween Ends. There's certain films you can't be wrong on. Halloween Ends is one. Babylon's another. The Whale, Fabelmans. These are 4 that come right to mind. Cocaine Bear. If you are on the wrong side of history on certain films, you're fucking wrong. This is not subjective. If you think Halloween Ends is the perfect close to John Carpenter's creation from 1978, then you don't know what you're doing, and you've just announced to the world that you are fucking clueless. I can't go harder than that, guys. I can't go harder than what I just did. I'm right. I know I'm right. And you guys know I'm right. Look at Last Voyage of Demeter. There's like 20 people in the 10 o'clock. This film is going to be in trouble this weekend. I'm going to be generous because the box office is doing well right now. $9 million is high. I mean, for this film, that's so bad. I don't care. The budget's got to be, I would guess 75. Is it less than that? I haven't looked. But this is an August dump month film, and it's terrible. That was the longest review we've ever done because I just went off on everything else. I'm so sorry about that. I'll tighten up the rest of the show. Let me do a couple of comments right now. A couple of comments to film. It's subjective. Film enthusiast, I will boot you so fast. It's subjective until it's not. Welcome to MMT. I'm not going to respect other opinions more because on certain movies, I just talked to my good friend Paul Hardister. He's very, very smart. I love Paul H. He's Academy Picks. Let me explain something to you, and he knows it too. There are certain films that if you say are good or acceptable or great or worse, tremendous masterpiece, you're wrong. You're wrong. You're wrong. And Beau is Afraid is clearly number one on that list. Babylon is way up there. And so is Scream 6 and so many others. They're terrible. Now, Scream 6 at least is watchable. And yes, Babylon's better than Beau is Afraid, but you're asking me to pick between two legitimate, like, here's two different pieces of dung, two different elephant dung. Which one stinks worse? Pile A or pile B? I mean, Beau is Afraid just a little bit more. Just a little bit more. Film enthusiast, you are proving yourself to be incredibly unreliable right off the bat. Thank you, Simone. It does. Okay. We're, Simone, I should actually send you in here to do comments. Simone, if Simone's here, Simone, if I can't do it tonight, I'm gonna have Simone when she can't, because Simone's good. She'd be very good at pushing comments. And I'll let you jump in and just start hitting things and just bring it up because Simone would be fantastic at that. But we've got a bunch of stuff to talk about here tonight. So I'll get back to the comments. Remember what I said, super chat. Listen, okay, fine. Listen, I'm going to do this. To Film Enthusiast 73, I understand that what I do is abrasive. I'm not dumb. Someone's going to cut that and say, there it is. That's what he's admitting. I'm telling you, I'm aware that what I am can be very much polarizing. You don't think I get that? But here's the point. I want to be real, even though I told you it is a persona cranked. I want to tell you that what comes out of my mouth is what I believe. And it might be a little bit on the extreme side, some of the stuff, but the truth is, ultimately, I'm not saying something I don't believe in. Everything I just said about Newbie, I believe, okay? It might be a little too far, but it's true. He is representative of so many of the film Twitter elitist, unrelatable, unfunny, unwitty people, and that's what makes that group insufferable. People like that. They don't know how to relate to the average person. Listen, Gone Girl sees me all the time at the 16. I had a kid come up to me the other day. Was it Wade? I believe it was Wade. Came up to me out of nowhere and goes, man, I watch your channel. Thanks. Can I get a picture? Oh, it was amazing. That's cool. But here's the deal. When you meet me in person, you're going to get the same person you get here. I don't put on, it's the same shit. I'm going to be unfiltered. I'm going to tell you the same things. But I think at the end of the day, what you're watching is authentic. And for so many of these people, they aren't authentic. They're not real people. They are trying to impress somebody. They're trying to be part of a group. Richard Newby, perfect example of that. He's trying to appease to the lofty overlords of the film space who generally know nothing, like Sean Fantasy. How does a guy like that have the following he has and the podcast that Ringer has over what, 100,000 people follow him on Twitter, and yet he has liked the trifecta of shit films: Babylon, The Whale, and Beau is Afraid. Listen, to be wrong on one is bad. Two is next level. To recommend all three of those films makes you an incredibly unreliable, untrustworthy, and let me go a step further, utterly clueless film evaluator. You speak for nobody, Fantasy. Nobody. And people might put you on a pedestal, but trust me on this. Run it during your show. I don't give a shit. If you recommend Babylon, Beau is Afraid, and The Whale, I'm not sure about The Whale, but I'm pretty sure, it's on 3. 1, 2. Over. It might not be over in the views, in the clicks, but trust me, anybody who's seen those 3 films knows that we can never trust you again. I don't even know who you're evaluating for. For you? Or are you evaluating for others? Because that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to evaluate for you and for others. It is a Venn diagram. Here's what it is. I've said it so many times with film evaluation. What do I like? What does the average moviegoer like? And when we can get in the middle, in that Venn diagram, when we're squared up and it shares both of the circles, the ovals, whatever, then that is what we're looking for. Those are the films that I want to recommend to you guys. And here we go. This is one of those films. And I can't believe it is. I am shocked at my reaction to a film I just saw the other night. I mean, I can't even, honestly, if you would have told me that I was going to go into Gran Turismo and come out of it thinking it's one of the most entertaining films of 2023, I'd say, y'all crazy. Like, that is insanity. That trailer does nothing for me. And then, don't forget, Neil Blomkamp hasn't had a good film since Elysium. Some of you might say Chappie, but nothing in the past 5+ years. He had something on IFC I turned off. During the COVID lockdowns, there was a movie from Blomkamp. They sent me the link, and I go, I'm not finishing this. This is terrible. I go, this guy, what happened to Blomkamp? And then comes this film, Gran Turismo. I had no expectations for this film. I expected it to be completely and utterly forgettable, just like the trailer. And then you watch Gran Turismo, and you have this look on your face right there. Stunned. One of the most entertaining films of the year. Full throttle furiosity. Especially in IMAX. Oh, my God. Crotchety David Harbour kills. He's so good in that role, right? It's David Harbour. You know what he does. This Archie Madekwe, I'm sure I didn't say that right. He is very strong in the role of the young video gamer turned race car driver. What I like about him in the role, and then we'll get into more, is that he has a physicality. He's like 6'4", 6'5". It matters. Why does that matter? Why does it matter how tall Archie, the kid, is in the film? Because David Harbour's not a little guy. So that when Archie and David are head-to-head, Archie's actually taller, so it gives him a physical stature. It gives him a presence that is essential to sell that character that much more. These are the little things we notice. No one else is saying this, by the way. And I mean this. Nobody else just said what I just said. Because that's what you get here at MMT. We are seeing this shit on different levels than the average person. Sorry, I know, that sounds so... It's true. I wish more people saw films like this. They don't. Neil Blomkamp, his best film since District 9. It's not even a question. Variety said it's his best film ever. No, listen, District 9 is one of the best sci-fi films, I would argue, certainly of the past decade plus, 2 decades at this point. But Gran Turismo, for what it is, remember, we're evaluating these films for what they are. So, what's it trying to do? Who's the audience? And then does it deliver that to that audience? Gran Turismo does 1000%. Simone saw it. She'll back me up. She direct messaged me and said, "Holy shit, I told you." It is shockingly great. Not good, great. It is a great film for what it is. And it goes to Blomkamp, it goes to Harbor, and here's the three reasons why. Full Throttle Energy. This film is 1000% cranked when it comes to the kinetic power of cinema. On IMAX, you have the cars on the racetracks. You have a really interesting choice by Blomkamp, I think, who maybe has come up with the best way to incorporate video game and reality by when you're in the movie, you all of a sudden go to the car and he brings up like a video game above it, like number 1, number 2, whatever place he's in, 3rd, 4th, 5th. The way that he incorporates the video game into the film, very high skill level on that, Blomkamp. And then David Harbour. I mean, anytime you got David Harbour, you are going to elevate your film. Look no further than Black Widow. He was fantastic in that. And what's he do? He makes everyone around him better, including Florence Pugh, who was so strong in that film, because you're working off of David Harbour. Go back and look at Silent Night. Why is that film stronger than it should have been? Because it does wear thin after just a little bit. Santa, killing all the people, Die Hard. But why is it so fun? David Harbour, because he's a gift. He is a treasure for us at the cinema. And then welcome back, Neil Blomkamp. District 9 has been, good Lord, 15 years? Was that 09? So almost 15 years now. And he has announced he is back because Gran Turismo is the biggest surprise of the year. And I give it a 93% MMT score. That is way, way up there. Are you guys surprised? Are you shocked? I know I would be. If I was listening to me right now, I'd be like, that guy doesn't know what the hell he's talking about. Well, of course, you probably say that anyhow. But you also know that I do. Like, I don't want to admit, it's like all my haters. They don't want it. That's the thing that I always like to, this is why I go and I needle them. They come after me, go, well, you can't. They don't ever say you don't know what you're talking about. Because they can't. Because I'm on the right side of history 93% of the time. Perfect time to break that out. Right? These other people are on the wrong side of history 93% of the time. Sean Fennessy, not Weber. The EW evaluation is like money. If you get that, forget thumbs up, thumbs down, Siskel and Ebert. If you get the MMT score in the 90%, and you get the recommendation from here, dude, you're going to be like big. Richard Newby, take notes. I would love to see him do a show, like even try to do something like this. You guys would be like, my God, this guy's so boring. I know I would. You just know it. Just read his tweets. When you read someone's tweets, you kind of read who they are. And that's why people go, my God, your tweets. But like, guess what? They're inflammatory often, but they're also dead on. And they're also fearless. I don't care what people think about me. I've told you a million times that. It doesn't matter. Who cares? Why do I give a shit about what someone thinks about me? Because ultimately, they don't pay my bills. There's a guy I used to watch. Well, I still do watch all the time on YouTube. His name's Greg Plitt. You know what? I'm going to do this right now. I've never done this because this is what the show is. I have a plan a lot of times, and then I just say, no, right now, this is what feels right. And let me just recommend something to you guys. In life, do not ever, and I mean ever, go against your intuition. If your intuition tells you to do something, you need to do it. If your intuition says do not do something, do not do it. One of the reasons I got into the situation I was 5-6 years ago is because I ignored my intuition. And when that happened, I fucked myself. It's not bad. I didn't get in like trouble with the law or anything. But I made a decision. We'll talk about it another time. And it was the wrong decision. I knew it was, but I did it for money. And guess what it taught me? Never do things for money. Do things out of passion. That's why this channel is exactly what it is. I am not trying to get more clicks, more views. I don't give a shit about that. I want to come on here and talk about films and be super opinionated and super passionate about what I believe in. And that's all it is. I'm not going to put on a show, even though some of you think I am. But yeah, sure, sometimes. But not for clicks. I don't give a crap. Someone said that like, look, he's putting on a show for what? For 2,000 followers? I love you all, but I mean, we're not Grace Randolph. I'm not living in a high-rise in New York City. Not that I'd want to. I'm just saying, whatever. Okay, this is Greg Plitt. You guys are going to, this guy, I'm going to say was, and it still hurts me to say this, was a monster. He's a tragedy. The story of Greg Plitt is an absolute American tragedy. In fact, if anything, in a weird way, if I ever wrote a film, and I am trying to write multiple films at one time, I would love to write a film about Greg Plitt because he is, in my estimation, what he was able to accomplish, he's kind of a legend in my mind. And here's why. He had, his ethos was no prisoners. Let's watch a little bit. Let me let you listen. You're going to hear what I'm talking about in a second. This is my personality in a video. Of course he's Jack, right?
There's no entitlement to life, guys. We live in a free world. That free world gives you the opportunity and the ability to fight for what you want, to have the entitlement. The entitlement is after the finish line, and the race is called hard work. There is no entitlement without a race of hard work.
So he lived right here in Burbank.
So later in life, you never wonder what if. You give it all your time and effort in the set, so your life gets done the way you fucking want it to be done.
Do you hear that? Do you hear the energy of what he's saying? He is a man of conviction. And speaking of conviction, that is exactly what the message of Gran Turismo is. It is to believe in your abilities and to go after what you want. And that is what Plitt talked about all the time. Now, I said he's a tragedy. It is a tragedy. He was one of the most successful bodybuilders, not like one of those like Ronnie Coleman, like steroided out guys. He was a natural bodybuilder on the cover of a billion magazines, all those muscle and fitnesses back in the day, all that, back in the 90s and early 2000s into the 2010s. And he lived here in Burbank. He worked out at a gym that's no longer here called Miami Fitness. But I started watching his videos and I go, I'd love this guy's life ethic, which is no prisoners and to not give a shit about what anyone else thinks about you. He talks about that all the time. And here's what I'm going to say. Here's why it's a tragedy. And this is like the craziest story. He was racing a train right down the street here in Burbank. We have the Metrolink goes by the station. He was racing a train for a video. He's a little out and he's a little crazy. So well, of course you identify with him. The train, he slipped and the train hit him. I mean, he's no longer with us. But here's the deal. I know, right? That took a really dark turn. I'm so sorry, guys. You guys are like, damn, this show's dark. But here's what I want you to do for homework is to watch a Greg Plitt video and just listen to him talk and the ferocity that he had. That's what I love, okay? The full throttle energy. It's perfect for Gran Turismo. All right. You guys are like, good Lord, this show. But just let me ask you, I'm going to do a couple comments. We're going to keep going here. This show's already 40 minutes in, and I feel like we've only been on for 5 minutes. Here's the reality. And you guys come in the comments. Yeah, he was hit by the train. Yeah. I know he exactly, Michael. Thank you. He was the body scan for Zack Snyder's Dr. Manhattan. That is correct. That is 100% correct. Producer Nate's here telling me it's a copyright. Well, no, it's fine. He's not. It's not going to matter. Someone else put that together as a fan video. Good, Michael. I'm glad you did. You understand what we're talking about here, and it's about legacy. This is about legacy and not being afraid. Okay. Me too. That's why films help me connect with my. Yeah, good job, Luis. Be fearless, baby. I don't want to get back into Richard Newby. He's boring. Richard Newby's a bore. I'm gonna fall asleep talking about him. I don't want to do that. He is. He's a pretentious bore, and he knows it. These people know it too. Ultimately, they know it. They're not funny. They think it's fun to like shade people, but not be funny about it. I shade people, but here's the deal: whenever I shade someone on Twitter, it's because they came in and disrespected me. I don't disrespect. Newbie came after me and said something like, "Oh, says the guy who wants to be an executive." I'm like, wait a second. First of all, I don't even talk to you. Second of all, why do you know so much about me? That's the thing. Why do people that are quote haters why are they so obsessed? It's weird. It's like, don't be like that. Just be a fan, or just learn to deal with it. Like, why are you saying, or better yet, work on yourself. How about that, Newbie? Work on yourself and don't worry about me. Because trust me when I say this, I don't worry about you. Like, I don't go to bed at night thinking about Richard Newby and what he thinks of me. Like, I've never thought that, nor do I give a shit. And that goes for any of them. I don't care. I don't care what Stephen King thinks of me. I do know this. Stephen King doesn't know shit about films. Dudes, listen. And girls, sorry. But I just say that as a general thing. Oh, Weber's saying you guys are all dudes and there's women out there. And of course you guys are coming in with, well, of course you like a guy who's jacked. You guys know I like going to the gym. It's important. It really is. Being healthy is a big part of life. I believe that. Trust me. If you know, you know. Okay. Stephen King needs to leave movies alone. We had the same problem with Ben Shapiro. So now, for those of you who say, well, Weber is far right or Weber is far left, I just attacked far right in Ben Shapiro and far left in Stephen King. What do they both have in common? Both of them suck ass at film evaluation. That is being too kind, saying suck ass. That's too generous. Both of them should never be allowed near, in King's case, a typewriter, in Shapiro's case, a microphone, ever again to issue any opinions about film. Oh my God, I just said Stephen King uses a typewriter to send his tweets. My Lord. All right, ready? Here we go, guys. Maybe this says more about me than the film. Trust me, Stephen King, it says a lot about you, that you don't know shit. But I thought Babylon was utterly brilliant, extravagant, over the top, hilarious. No. Thought-provoking. Yeah, I mean, if you're thinking like, could this be worse, then that is thought-provoking. Might be one of those movies that reviews badly and is acclaimed as a classic in 20 years. Let me help you with that, Stephen King. Babylon will be considered a classic in 20 years, probably not by you. I'm sorry but I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Maybe. But definitely by Sean Fennessy. There's no film critic with a bigger audience and a worse track record than Sean Fennessy. Seriously, there isn't anybody. His followers to evaluations is so far out of whack. He should have like 5 followers with those opinions, not 100,000. 5. I have about right. Right? 2,000's perfect for me. That's perfect. Stephen King, do us a favor. Stop talking about movies. You are bad at this, because Babylon in every way, shape, and form is horrendous. And you want me to prove it for you? Johnny, this is a great comment. I'm going to get to in a minute. Let me tell you how I know Babylon is shit. I've told this story so many times. You guys ready? Oh no, Bodie's here. Bodie's back, everybody. Who cares if what does the fact that he's successful and influential author have to do with his film opinions? Can you help me, Bodie? Bodie, help me out. Help me out. What does that have to do with this? I don't give a shit. Who cares? The opinion's terrible. It's Babylon. Here's how bad Babylon was. I have been to numerous Hollywood premieres. I have never, ever seen a single person get up and leave within the first 20 minutes of a movie. In Babylon, no fewer than 4, probably more, because it was a really wide auditorium there in Beverly Hills, got up and left. I mean, there's a lot. Listen, listen, he likes everything. That's the problem, Bodie. The big problem with Babylon, Johnny, this is exactly correct. Damien Chazelle wanted this film to be something that was great, and in his gigantic swing for the fences, he failed in spectacular fashion by, let's just start with the opening. An elephant taking a shit. That is not how you start any film to get the audience in with you. My God, let's make the audience feel, jovial and enjoy this and an effervescent. Oh my God, the elephant's taking a shit on the guy. So that's when the couple left. And then you got golden showers. They left. They're like, I'm not watching this. We're leaving. We're out of here. And they were right. They were good. Oh God, Aegis says the guy. Oh God. Campea is terrible too. Do you want me to go after him too? Campea. Okay. It's a race between Sean Fennessy and John Campea for most undeserved followers. In other words, their opinions are so shitty, they shouldn't have 1/10 of the people that pay attention to them that do. In Fennessy's case, Babylon, The Whale, Beau is Afraid. In John Campea's, I've watched just a little bit of him. He doesn't really know what he's talking about. No one's ever said that about me. They come in and say, you are opinionated. No one's ever said, because I just dialed down on Demeter on the score. No one else is talking about that. No one, when they talk about Gran Turismo, is saying, oh, by the way, one of the reasons the film works is because the kid has height. Therefore, he has more of a physical presence. God, man, that's why, because they can't say that. They go, my God, he's right. I didn't see that. Eric sees these things. It's the magic eye. It's looking at the picture and seeing all the layers. Stephen King looks at the magic eye book, and all he sees is just the picture. He doesn't see the 3D. Fennessy sees like 2 of the dimensions, and those that he sees are out of focus. That is how I describe those guys. Of course, I'm savaging everybody. I'm savaging the shit out of them. Because they're you can't be that wrong. Yeah, exactly. Right, Simone? The elephant taking a shit on the audience ruined the whole thing. Just like right off the bat. I saw Babylon in a half-pack theater at Universal week after it came out. Half the crowd walked out. Thank you. Luis, I know I'm right. Babylon's terrible. There's 2 good things about Babylon. Let's definitely recommend the 2 scenes. Let's see which. Here we go. Number 1, Margot Robbie, first sound film. Right? Here she. Everyone quiet on the set. Cut. Cut. She can't get the lines right. Boom. 1. 2. Gene Smart, Brad Pitt. You're over. That's it. 2 scenes out of a 3-hour movie. 2 fucking scenes. Everything else, disaster. But here's a good scene and here's another one. Even Brad Pitt killing himself. Terrible to see. What is that? It doesn't, it tonally, and I said this the second I walked out, so anyone who says, well, you did, tonally, Babylon is a disaster. Damien Chazelle attempts to make something that was great, and he fails at a really Hall of Fame level failure. That's how absolutely terrible that film is. We have more to talk about, but I'm going to do a couple comments. John Campea thinks that every movie could get a remake, reboot because we got the original. In reality, there are films that can't remake. Of course. I don't even want to. Campea doesn't impress me. There's people. Listen. Okay. So Michael's like, I'm going after everybody. Let me tell you people that impress me. You guys ready? Here's a few. Gene Siskel. Gene Siskel, he is no, not one. Number one film critic of all time to me. I feel like if you go back and watch Gene Siskel, I've said this before. The way that listen, Gene Siskel did not go. It was nearly as combative, but he was very passionate. Watch Gene Siskel. I think you're going to see some of that here. You're all sacrilegious. Weber just studied Gene Siskel. I'm telling you that I love his mind, and you're going to see a lot of that. He was fearless. Now, he is abrasive. I admit to being abrasive. I'm not going to lie about that. Everyone knows that. I don't care. It is what it is. I'm not going to come on here and be milquetoast and be Chris Stuckman. It's boring. I'm not going to be Grace Randolph and read off a teleprompter. I'm not going to be John Campea and be a shill. I'm not going to be Zach Pope and be the king of the shills. I'm not going to do that shit. I'm going to be right. Every time we take a shot, we're going to hit the target. Maybe not every time, but most of the time. Yeah, Ebert was combative, wasn't he? He absolutely was. Did I miss? Hold on, let's just check super chats. We're going to keep going here. We have about 10 minutes. I think I got a little longer than tonight. Tonight's show's just been out of control. But let me explain, guys. Here's the deal. This is what the show's going to be. I'm not going to. I've decided we're just going to drill down on this. It's not. It maybe. Listen, maybe we're just hang out at this number and it's a tight little, intimate thing forever. It's a niche show. That's fine. I don't give a shit. It's what it is. I'm not trying to get likes. I mean, it's cool if you guys do like it, but that's not what the point is. Not that. Simone, I finally got to this. Simone's like, you got to talk about this. I'm like, okay, I'll do it. I got sidetracked. Story. We should call MMT should be called Sidetrack Films. You start a show and then all of a sudden we just veer off into some random shit. I mean, that's what happens all the time. I'm not gonna lie. He has ADD. Maybe I do. So what? What were you saying? Academy will now let films bypass the inclusion report by opting out of the Best Picture race. Here is what just happened. Now, listen, I just gave a cursory reading to this. So, Simone, let me work through this and let's talk about it. If you guys don't know, to qualify for Best Picture, you now have to have all these representation and inclusion standards met by the Oscars, by the Academy. If it doesn't, then you cannot go for Best Picture. Now, what they're saying is that if you don't want to be considered for Best Picture, you don't have to fill out this inclusion standard form saying here's the representation of everybody who worked on the film. And it's not just the crew, it's behind the scenes. It could be a PA, which I technically is crew, but it could be someone, I assume in promotion, right? I'm pretty sure it is. Someone at the studio who handles the film, who fits the criteria. Whatever. Okay, you guys know I'm not big on checking boxes. The Academy is. Okay. But if that's the case, then they're saying, listen, here it is. Am I required to create, it's called a RAISE submission, RAISE. Hold on, what does RAISE stand for? Obviously, is it racial, gender, race, disability data? I don't know what RAISE is. Anyhow. So I don't like checking boxes. You guys know that, okay? I really don't like checking boxes. I think that once we start checking boxes, what's the point? There's just no point to deciding what the best of something is when we start saying it's the best it's the best. No, it's the best film. When I said I loved After Sun, Saint Maud, Hustlers, just thinking of recent films, it wasn't because they're directed by women. It's because they're well directed, and that's it. Right? When I just mentioned Corey Hawkins earlier on the stream, it's not because he's black that he's talented. It's because he's a talented actor. When I called out Richard Newby for being a blowhard, it's not because he's black. It's because he's a blowhard. Do you see what we're doing here? I know what I'm saying is like for some people, like, holy shit, Weber's doing this because everything I just said is true. Everything is accurate. Everything is fair. And I think that's what people lose their minds over. They want to come after me and they go, what are they going to argue on that? What are you going to argue about that? What are you going to argue? What are you going to say? You can't. There's nothing you can say. You can just throw out inflammatory bullshit. But you know that the truth is what I'm telling you is that I don't care about those things. I value people as people. So when the Academy has this new, hey, you got to have this many this many that, the diversity bullshit, I don't want it. Don't anyone come in here and say, well, it says the white guy. I just told you I value everyone the same. I mean, it's not hard, guys. Do we have any say over the color of our skin? Like when we come into the world, do we have a choice? Did someone say, hey, by the way, which one of these boxes do you want to check before you come out? Before you come out of the womb, which one of these boxes do you want to be? Because last I checked, we didn't have that choice. So as such, why do we talk about it so damn much? We all are human beings with souls. What does the color of the skin matter? You guys know what the answer is. It doesn't. But to the Academy, it does. I will never play that game. You guys know I had Sunset Circle. Year 4 now, my God. And it'll never happen. It'll never happen that someone is picked over another person because of meeting some kind of diversity requirement. We will pick that person because they are worthy, because they deserve to be in that spot. They have merit. They warrant that selection. That is how the world works. I have said it a million times, 1,000,001 coming up. In sports, has there ever been a team at any professional level that says, listen, our quarterback is our best quarterback, but he is black, and we need to have a white quarterback? I'm going to flip it because obviously the other way you guys all go. We can't have that. We have too many of this on the field, and we need to no, we would not do that. We do not ever do that in sports, and we're not going to do that when we evaluate films. We're going to evaluate them for what they are. Give me a like, because I just nailed it again. Every time I do that, I nail it. Every single time. And every person who wants to come after me would have to sit their ass in the corner and shut up when I issue that. They're like, oh man, that's I can't come after you. Well, of course you can't, because I'm right. What are you going to say? Best picture goes to the film that checks all the boxes. Bullshit. It's bullshit. It is, Simone. It's total bullshit. It is a complicated topic, Michael. No one's suggesting. Listen, it's this simple. It's about merit for everybody. I don't care what you're doing. You want to be a pilot. You want to be a doctor. You want to be a film reviewer. You want to be a quarterback, a midfielder, whatever it is. You need to be the best at that particular skill. I am not going to even look at the color of your skin. If I have a stack of resumes for the MMT producer, I am not, and Nate's going to get fired soon, so don't worry about it. I will start collecting resumes. All I'm going to do, I'm going to cover up the name, and I'm just going to look at the skills. I don't even care. It doesn't matter, because it's all about merit. Merit. Benjamin, I'll come back to this. This is good. I'll come back. We're going a little long tonight. I still have more stuff to talk about. And I got bogged down in Campea and Fantasy and Newbie and oh my God, why? Thank you, John. I think honestly, the funny thing is, and I know John, I appreciate this, and I'm not just saying, here's the problem, Critical Drinker. Brian, welcome to the channel, by the way. Critical Drinker, the issue with him is that he is turning a little too woke for me. I'm not a woke, anti-woke, whatever it is guy. I am a give me a quality film, period, in a discussion. So I don't even really bring that up. I will mention when I talk about Barbie that I think it goes too hard on the patriarchy, right? Just dial it back. Go from a 10 to an 8. I'm not saying get rid of it like Shapiro was ranting about, or even Bill Maher. I'm telling you that it's not as bad as these people think it is. I would definitely say bring it back. Just dial things back. Film fan, I love your fearlessness and appreciate you do not have NPC takes. Of course I have some L's. Oliver, is that true? Yeah, okay, here's the thing. So listen, can we just do this real quickly? Come in right now. We'll do it real lightning fast. Here we go. You guys ready? Here we go. Come in and say authentic or inauthentic with me right now. Come in and just say A or I if you want to do that. A for authentic, I for inauthentic. Right now, comments, bring them. And you guys know what the answer is, but just answer me. Am I Campea, Mr. Inauthentic? Come on, bring the comments. Let's go. I need producer Nate in here to like crank through these. C or I? A or I? A or I? You guys are going to say A. I don't know why I even bother. W for woke. Yeah, that's for sure, Max. I just went off on diversity, you guys. Inauthentic. Screw you, Michael. Now I'm just gonna get a bunch of eyes. That's definitely that's the thing. The critics that come after me never say inauthentic. They never say. They just say he's a jerk. I would rather be called a jerk than be inauthentic. Inauthentic Zach Pope. He's not a real person. I don't want to. You guys know, like, thank you, thrifting. That's the correct answer. Can't be as authentic at being. Oh my God, John, you're out of control tonight. Can't be as authentic at being a piss poor critic. Here's Johnny A. Thank you. A1. Thank you, Brian. Oh my God. I mean, it's true. That's what you're getting here. You're getting absolute authentic. Oh, sorry. Yeah, no. It's definitely saying me, not him. Sorry, my bad, guys. By the way, tonight's kid is Southampton, brand new. This one, I like this. You guys check this out. So Southampton is now in the championship, was in Premier League, smaller Premier League / championship team now. It's one of my favorites. It's a new one. I like it because it's humble. Humble makes really cool kids. By the way, real quickly, this is like so inside football shirt. Do you guys see the neckline on this? So it's like a double up. I cannot wear a soccer shirt that's like a ring neck. It has to have this like reinforced neck. This is like, if I were to design a shirt, I'd say, give me that. It's like, look at this thing. It's like I'm wearing like a Windsor knot tie. Okay, couple more things. We got a lot. My God, I've got a lot of stuff tonight. This is like, I didn't expect the show to be this packed, but that's what happens when you start going off on shills and terrible critics. Let's get the latest on the actors writer strike. I'm going to show you this is not producer Nate. Don't come in here and say it's a copyright strike. It's a news story. We're allowed to show a news story on here, aren't we?
All right, it's today.
Shit, that's loud. Give me a second. I'm sorry. Okay, so this is from Sky News. Let me turn this down a little bit. Sky News' report on the actor writer strike, SAG, WGA, and we're going to listen to Seth Rogen give us a soundbite. Hey, listen.
Well, I did the robot cross the road. Well, to join the picket line, like every other struggling actor in Hollywood right now. Make some noise!
So real quick, this is Paramount Pictures. Obviously, you can see that. It's probably about 10 minutes from where I am right now. Been there on that lot a million times. So Mission Impossible, you go through the gate, you hang a right, and they have the Sherry Lansing Theater. It's amazing. It's a Dolby Atmos outfitted thing. I just wanted to tell you I've been there a bunch of times. Okay, sorry.
Days into a writer's strike. And a month into an actor's strike that have brought this industry to a halt.
That's Disney.
And there's no hint of an agreement around the corner. Few understand the complexities of reaching a deal better than Seth Rogen, an actor, writer, and exec producer.
There is a lot of solidarity among the performers, but in the studio side of thing, everyone's in it for themselves.
Rogen thinks that even getting the different studios on the same page
is a
big problem.
These are people who hate each other, people who are in direct competition with one another.
They hate each other. Yikes.
To think that Universal has the same priorities as Netflix is insane, So
well, we know that. You guys watch MMT. Netflix doesn't give a shit about theatrical. Universal does. So right there, Seth Rogen, 5 stars for you for this comment.
That's what concerns me, honestly, is that they will be completely unable to bring forth a coherent and unified proposal because of their own infighting and divergent priorities.
The strikes.
He's a well-spoken guy. I like that. Divergent priorities. But he's right. Okay, so we'll just do this quick, and I don't want to show you the rest of the video, but it's just like, there they are picketing. Every day I go to the gym. Have I mentioned I go to the gym? I go by Warner Brothers, and every day they're out there. And it's been super hot here in LA up until the last few days, and they've been out there till like noon. Now I imagine they're out there longer, but I'll give you an update tomorrow. I'm sure you're all just breathlessly awaiting for that. But yeah, it's kind of cool that you live right here and you get to see all this. Not the fact that they're striking and that people are losing money. That's not cool. But Seth Rogen's got a good point there. And when he talks about Netflix and Universal have different priorities, he's right. I think that there has to be an umbrella, right? An umbrella agreement talking about actors and usage in shows and films that, the minimum, what, I don't know what the freaking stuff is, but just in general, a contract has to be beneficial for both sides. If you are the actor writer and you're trying to get everything, you're going to have to compromise. The studio, same thing. They're going to try to get, and you need to find a compromise. So hopefully they're able to do that, because we're losing money. CAA is laying people off. The biggest agency in town, I was going to pull the article up. We don't need to. Just know that CAA is about ready to lay off a bunch of people. Creative arts agency down in Century City, right near Ken's favorite place. In fact, funny story, if you guys watch Barbie, they film a lot of it in the lobby of CAA. Yes, I've been to CAA. I've seen movies there. Big deal. So I just like to, location drop whenever we're here. Like, so you're not watching someone in Kansas. You know what I mean? Like, doesn't it carries a little bit of extra weight, the fact that I'm like going to the lots and stuff. 60, exactly. 60, compromise, 100%, divergent priorities. I like how he put that. Netflix is hiding behind shady financial measures. Good for Rogan, calling out the behemoth of streaming. Seth definitely high out. Yeah, he definitely is. But he's also a smart guy. Listen, I like what he did with Mutant Ninja Turtles too. But let's hope it gets wrapped up. Let's just say that. All right, a few more minutes. I got more topics, so I'm sorry I got to do it. Wonder Woman 3, yes or no? This one just came up. Of course, I guess we want one? I mean, after Wonder Woman 84, do we even want another Wonder Woman? Because that could be taken that way. I don't know about that. All right, here's because it was so bad, right? I mean, you guys, Wonder Woman 84 is terrible, right? Objectively horrible. One of the worst CBMs of all time. Where's the article? Hold on, let me go to the wrap. Give me a second. I had it. Sometimes I keep forgetting to save these things. I'm sorry. It slows the whole show down. You guys are like, damn, you need a producer. Yeah, I do. Producer Nate. Wonder Woman 3 is not in development at DC Studios. So if you heard Gal Gadot's like, hey, by the way, I'm talking to James Gunn and Peter Safran, we're making this movie. And now, according to the wrap, they're saying no. So apparently Gadot, it's Gadot, right? It's not Gadot. It is Gadot. I always say Gadot, and I always don't know if am I right? Just come in and give me phonetics. I should know that by now, but I just like Gal Gadot better than Gal Gadot. Don't you? Like, if I was actually Eric Gadot, I would say I'd just say it's Eric Gadot, right? Wouldn't you? You would just say that. So that's why I assume she would do the same thing. It can't be Gadot. Routinely brought up Wonder Woman 3 the last few months. Interview with comicbook.com shills. By the beginning of August, she said, I love portraying Wonder Woman. It's so close and dear to my heart. From what I heard from James and Peter, we're going to develop a Wonder Woman 3 together. So there's the quote saying, hey, from what I heard from them, it's happening. She reiterated it again during another interview with Flaunt magazine, whatever that is. And then, trust me, people go, what is MMT? I get it. It's fine. It's all good. I don't give a shit. So here's the wrap. Wonder Woman 3 had been given the axe due to creative differences. Well, we know that because of Patty Jenkins. They said, no, we're not doing that. Okay, hold on. So basically they're saying there are no changes to the current Peter Safran, James Gunn, DC Studios reset that includes a new Wonder Woman feature. So it's not going to happen. Guys, just tell me right now in the comments, how terrible is Wonder Woman 84? It's Gadot? The hell it is. It's Gadot. Yeah, Godot. There it is. See, Simone? See, you guys are already doing. You guys are good. Is it Weber or Weber? Which one is it?
There's never been a better time to get away.
Absolutely atrocious, wasn't it? I remember they sent me the screening link of that, and it was like literally. I was like, "This is truly odious." I mean, you got magic dildos, right? You've got her raping a guy. Oh, it's Stephen King's tweet. We definitely don't want to see that. So you have the magic dildo. You've got her raping a guy. You've got no 80s songs. You've got a reuse of Hans Zimmer's work in other films in the climax of the film, the score. What am I watching? One of the worst scripts of all time. Almost as bad as the script that I saw tonight in a movie you'll never even want to see nor hear about called Jules. We'll talk about Sunday. I got too much to say. 84 rivals Green Lantern. It's worse. Oliver, it's the worst CBM of all time. Yeah, the trailer's good, right? Where is she? She's here somewhere. There she is. You guys see her back there? Hold on. Can you see? There she. Oh, let me move. Right there. Do you see her? Right there. Almost look I'm flicking you guys off. Look. But look, it's not. Screw you guys. Oh wait, it's only there she is back there. She's got to be hidden. She's got to be obscured. Oh my god. Okay, we got a couple more here. This almost is you know what this is almost turning into in a way? MMT's turning into like it's like a stand-up routine. Not that it's good, but it's kind of like a comic just randomly talking about shit. Like I feel like she just grabbed the mic and goes, "So guys, so I mean, that's what this is. This is like going to the comedy store and watching a comic bomb. Hopefully not burn to crash and burn. Whatever. I don't care. I would watch Green Lantern 5 times before I watched 84 once. So would I. 84 is terrible. Okay. I was going to give you a must-see tonight. I want to save it because the show's already long. I've got a good one on Sunday. I want to leave you with I don't want to give you one all the time because then, I mean, don't get me wrong, there's a billion movies, but I try to find something unique. I don't want to just go, watch this, and you guys are like, I've already seen it. Hey, everybody, tonight's must-see, The Social Network. That's what our boy Zach Pope would do. Tonight's must-see, E.T., the Extraterrestrial. All right, let's do rapid fire questions. Anything you want to do. This isn't going to be like the snooze guy who does the movie talk thing and he has questions. We're going to go fast. It's going to be like bang, 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 and we're going to wrap this thing off. Benjamin, we start with you. I'm sorry for being so off topic. It's the end of the show. You're allowed. Everyone and their mom's going to these Taylor Swift concerts. It enrages me that Taylor Swift isn't on the poster for that Amsterdam movie. She was the best part of the movie. Benjamin, that's a W for you. I'm telling you she was. She's in the movie for a second before she gets hit by a car. Thank God her character did, because she is redeemed by the fact she doesn't have to be in that film for the remainder. One of the worst films of last year, Amsterdam. Let's see what else we have. Michael, thank you for the super chat. You're in LA. Do you have any inside info on the strike? Here's my info on that, Michael. Here it is. It will get finished soon. I said mid-August or late August at the latest. Why? Because episodic television needs to start gearing up now for the fall. They can push it a little bit to September, but once we start getting to September, the CBSs, the ABCs, the NBCs, they still have sports. That means they need shows to couple sports with. When the NFL on Fox is over on Sunday, they have that new show, 911, whatever it is. They need that show. Now, granted, they can put on reality shows, but I'm telling you, they want to have episodic television ready to go. No one else has that shit. You're watching Midnight Movie Talk, and I just gave you information that nobody, including THR, Variety, Deadline, The Wrap, none of them have said what I just said, because I understand this town better than them, and I don't work for them, and I never will work for them. We do our own shit here. Thank you so much. Give me a like. I don't care if we have 5 viewers. We're better than everybody else. Honestly, I know that. It's like, imagine having a steakhouse and you serve good food and no one's coming in. That's fine. By the way, that sounds so sad. But it's not, no, but you know what I mean? Like, I don't care that Grace Randolph has 942,000 more subscribers than me. Honestly, because I know that if you put the 2 of our shows in a ring, Grace Randolph gets TKO'd in the first 10 seconds. So I'm not going to worry about it. I can't control that shit. Can't control it. I just know that I just destroy her. Destroy. What is that? Oh, Ladytron. Love that song. WGA needs to add that Dune Part 2 is released this year. I agree, Goober. That's good from early on here. Fraser's performance is the only good element of the whale. 100%. Dune 2 will stay in November. Let's pray that's the case. We want Dune 2. Where's our boy? Nate? I don't know. He's being lazy tonight. Talk to Me was so much better than I expected. Haha. Made by YouTubers. Yeah, exactly, Casey. Sorry. Casey's probably long gone and I'm reading the comment. This is from like an hour ago. Sorry. I got caught up in bashing critics. My bad, everybody. Michael Mann has made a deal with SAG for the actors to promote Ferrari. I almost said Ford Ferrari. Ferrari and attend Venice so I could see W. Good. That'd be amazing if they did that. Talk to Me was good. The ending's fantastic. I don't like the script being a little too busy. I would tighten the focus just slightly, but it is a very strong first feature from those two YouTubers. I'm seeing Dracula on a boat. Don't do it, Simone. It's terrible. Honest to God, don't see Alien on a boat. It's boring. You will be so absolutely snoozy during that film. It would be better if Nicolas Cage played Dracula again. Probably yes. The creature is not the worst part of the film. The film is just boring. The creature looks pretty cool. It's just not that good. Demeter's boring. Thank you, Fiddle Griddle. You finally agree with me. It is. It's one of these films that you read some takes, you're like, what? It's good. All right, we'll keep going. I'm going to get through as many comments as possible at the end. Shapiro's Barbie gave me PTSD of his Batman review. He missed on Batman in good time. Shapiro's terrible. Listen, if it was like a boxing match, Shapiro's like 5'2". I'm a little bit under 6 foot. I'm certainly more muscular than Shapiro. He's definitely going to beat me in a debate, like especially philosophical debate about shit. But here's the deal: is at the end of the day, when you're just simply evaluating a film, I will destroy Ben Shapiro every time, 99 times out of 99. You thought I was saying no, every single time. He's going to lose an evaluation with me. Do you know why he's going to lose? Even if he were talented, which I don't think he is way too political. He is too tribal. And once you are like that, you can't be a reliable evaluator. I'm not tribal. I am a lone wolf, baby. I am the mercenary of the YouTube film area, even more so than Chris Stuckman. Well, he could be a mercenary, but he's so boring. I personally like Last Voyage. Burp-minded, you're wrong. Cinemark, it's fine. Listen, it's not. I understand if you like elements of it, and even if you like the film, it's not Babylon, Beau is Afraid, or The Whale. No, okay, so fine. I don't care. PLF, yeah, premium large. Sorry, every time we say that, I should just put at the bottom. Honestly, at the bottom it should say MMT headline. PLF means premium large format IMAX Dolby Prime. Sorry, we're like an hour into this. He's 75, Stephen King. Okay, so he's a little bit younger. When we're going to get movies that don't directly rip off superior genre films? Good question, Luis. It's a lot. We're done being nice. That's a long time ago. It's true. It's true. I'm sorry I said this like an hour ago. We'll get ready to wrap because I'm so tired. This show takes so much energy. Ugh. It's like doing an hour-long stand-up routine. Can you imagine? But the thing is like I have an idea, like the rundown's in here, right? Like, look, like all this shit's in here. But then what happens is, I didn't even get to this. Where's MAXXINE? We didn't get the trailer today. Maybe we'll get it tomorrow. We'll show it Sunday. Sorry if it's in the thumbnail. I thought we'd get the trailer today. I was told we were going to get it. We didn't get it. This is like a stand-up routine. At the end of the night, you're just tired. I'm like, I've been talking for over an hour. I'm not Grace Randolph, you guys. This takes talent. Oh my God. You're going to see Demeter. Good luck to you. Good luck. As a former news anchor, what are some of your favorite movies centered on the news? It's a great question. Broadcast news, clearly. There's the obvious, there's the network, there's the obvious ones. There's something I'm forgetting. I like that one, the Steven Spielberg, was it The Paper? What was the name of the one from a few years ago? I liked that. The Post. It was a good film. I know, Michael. It's hard. I am crashing. I didn't not eat tonight, though. Thank you, Film Fan. We'll wrap on this. You absolutely nailed Beau is Afraid. One of the worst films of the decade. Your Fableman's take, though, no, you're wrong. You're wrong. Fableman's is faux. It is artificial as hell. The only time that film's good is at the end. It's just like Babylon, right? 2 good scenes do not make a good movie. 1 good scene in Fableman's does not make it one of Spielberg's best films. Like, that's an embarrassment. I'm not saying you said that, Film Fan. But if someone says Fableman's is his best film, you are fucked. Like, it's over. We can't do this shit anymore. It's one of his worst films. I would argue his worst film. What's worse? I don't. Nothing comes to mind. I mean, he's had some films that aren't great, but you're going to tell me that The Fabelmans is better than? Let's even use something like AI. Are you kidding me? No. Thank you, Oliver, for leading me here because, ladies and gentlemen, Oliver nailed it. I'll be back on Sunday. Live from LA. I'll try to be more civil. Nah, fuck it. I'm not going to try. That's a lie. MMT is over.